Today we are talking about the AirPods Pro 3. The AirPods Pro 3 are a very, very interesting device. I have used AirPods like since they first came out. When I first came out, I actually was worried. I was like, man, people are going to think you're a total butthole because you've got these things hanging out of your ear. They're going to think you're some high class fancy person. It's the same thing I thought when the first Apple Watch came out. But as soon as I had tried these, come on, baby, focus. There you go. As soon as I had tried the first version of these guys, I thought these things were just, the bee's knees, absolutely incredible. And so I bought a pair. Now, I think it was the right decision because I use these literally every single day. Without fail, I use them constantly 24/7. And so it's like if I leave the house and I don't have these in my pocket, it feels weird. I feel like there's something wrong with me. Like I'm missing part of my body because they are just so handy. Now, being user of the AirPods 1 and then the AirPods 2 and now the AirPods 3, the question is, do you actually need to upgrade from the 2s? And I've got an answer that Apple might not like. You see, when I'm looking at these AirPods right here, I think they are absolutely phenomenal, but I don't like the new silicon that they use. For some reason, the new silicon to me, it's just kind of a miss. The old silicon on these guys, it felt better in the ear. It didn't irritate my ear as much. And I felt like the noise cancellation wasn't all that different. It's not like the noise cancellation on these, they claimed like 2 times more noise cancellation. And whenever somebody claims something like that, you just always got to ask yourself, like, what, how did you test this? Like, how do you know? I know they have all sorts of fancy equipment, but like really 2 times the noise cancellation? Because the noise cancellation on the first ones was wild, like just incredible. I remember the first time I used them on an airplane and all the sounds of the airplane just like completely disappeared. It was absolutely incredible. Now the 3s, I don't like the silicon as much, and I think they just in general sound worse. I think that's one of the biggest issues with this year's upgrade is that the audio on them just kind of comes up lacking. It doesn't sound as full for some reason, and maybe that's because of the silicon they had to use. But for some reason, for me, when I listen to music, it just doesn't feel as full. Now that's not a huge deal to me, only because I pretty much only ever, like, whenever I am listening to music on these guys, I pretty much only ever listen to like audiobooks, and I listen to podcasts and stuff like that. And so it's not that big of a deal to me that they don't sound as good, because I don't listen to music a ton. I traveled in a band and I was a professional musician for a while, and music to me kind of became a job. And so like I like listening to audiobooks a lot. I just finished the audiobook Dune, and it was incredible listening on these guys. So what do these guys actually do better? Man, they do transparency mode wildly good. I mean, I'm talking like nuts, insanely good. When you have these in your ears and turn on transparency mode, in the old ones you could tell like there's still stuff around, or like stuff in my ears, and it's augmenting the sound somehow so that I'm listening it to through a kind of digital medium kind of thing. On these guys, it sounds like you don't have stuff in your ears, which is incredible because if you use these a lot, like I have kids, and so I try not to have these in my ears when I'm parenting and all that kind of stuff. However, sometimes I got to do the dishes, and it's nice to know that I can still hear them like perfectly clear. They know if I have my AirPods in, I don't have it on noise cancellation mode, and so that's cool. So the noise cancellation on these is good. It's not 2 times good. The silicon on these things is a hit or miss. Like, I do love that they do have the different sizes now. Like, so for me, I have the 1 step smaller. My wife needs 2 steps smaller. If you got big old ear canals, you need a different one. But overall, man, these things are, if you don't have a pair and you've never owned a pair of AirPods, I think they're worth getting. But and I know this is like, maybe this is the theme of my life. It's just like, man, you don't need the newest and greatest. Go with the 2s. They're going to sound better. You get 99% of the way there. They still have, Qi charging, like wireless charging. You can put it on. That's really great. I do love, and I use this all the time. Here, I'll switch to this cam. I use it all the time. The fact that these guys have the, sorry, I'll try to get it in frame. There we go. They've got the microphone, or the speaker there. I use that a lot, just to kind of ping them and stuff like that. I find that really helpful. So do I think the AirPods 3s are worth going to? Man, I don't know. I don't know. I think they are a wonderful pair if you've never had any and somebody gifts them to you. But man, if you go down to the twos, I think that's probably the way to go this year. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the AirPods Pro 3s? Now, I will say this. If I had never tried any, these things would absolutely blow my mind. I would have them 100%. Like if this thing breaks, guess what I'm buying tomorrow? I'm not going to wait and try to save up. I'll do whatever I can to get a pair of AirPods in my pocket because they're that helpful for me. Anytime I get a phone call, man, AirPod in, that's what I do. So let me know your thoughts on the AirPod Pro 3 in the comments below. Like this video if you found it helpful. This is the third video on this channel, so if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic, and I would love that. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next one.